me a second, I'm trying to select the appropriate weapon. Watch who you stepping, them snakes all around, you know they connected. When I was a kid, my grandmama told me I can't go to heaven, so I stopped praying and asking for blessings and started preparing for my Armageddon. Got nothing to lose, I'm all in. Walking the edge, don't fall in. Enough of the lies, don't apologize, I don't understand, are you foreign? This is the place, this is the site, grab all your people and log in. I'm waiting, don't care how long it's gonna take.
Yo, I love me that intro right there. That is hot. What up? We are live. We're back in action. We are snapping our fingers as the NFL season lingers just around the corner. And here to warn you all about it is the 3rd and 3 podcast. We're going absolutely freaking fantasy football crazy tonight. And we want you to be a part of the show with your questions, your comments, your opinions. We'll get them all on air for you. Nikki.
Yes.
You went from a rising star in this game to like a full-blown stable sun orbiting in a galaxy. Like, I mean, every day of the week and even days that there aren't of the week, you're going now. You're trying to catch Damien over here.
I'm trying. I'm learning from the best. I'm trying to be just like him when I grow up.
I'm saying it. Grow up. I love it. That's funny, man. What up, D, bro? I'm always entertained by your daily posts, and the one today with Serena, that was definitely good and entertaining, and I get where you're coming from, bro.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to continue staying busy. You know, I can't be like Nikki, man. Nikki has something every day of the week. She has a schedule. She has not.
I know, right? Nikki's for real.
Yeah, I'm not on Nikki's level. Nikki has an itinerary and everything now.
I do it to like keep track for myself. I mean, yeah, I want you guys to come watch, but I'm like, wait, what am I doing today? Oh, okay, look at the TikTok.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Right. Nah, man, I love it, and I'm glad to have you back, bro.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, for you guys don't know, I have pneumonia. Yeah, pneumonia on both of my lungs. It's freaking weird, but I'll be all right. I'm feeling better. So I'm back in the game. Yes, I am Jason Fearman, back at the Sports Prophet with you over here. I'm going to prophesize all night tonight. The 3rd and 3 podcast presented by the Sports Column and brought to you by Reebok. So Reebok's deal of the week, get up to 60% off on their Reebok collection. So get the Reebok Rewind shoes for just $39.99 with the Rewind code at checkout. So the code is Rewind. Use that word at checkout. Get up to 60% off the Reebok collection apparel statewide from now until the 14th of this month. Get that stuff. Get her going. I want to give a quick shout out, guys, to Russell Baxter. You came on the Power 32 podcast a couple of days ago, and we ran through all 32 NFL teams in like under 40 minutes and hit on, each question. It was really cool. So you guys can see that on YouTube or listen to it on Spotify and, all that other stuff. I don't have time to go through them. So tonight we're doing fantasy football. All right. So
you better find me somewhere.
Right? Yeah, it's there. It's around, just plug it in. You'll find that stuff. Power 32 podcast. All right. You'll enjoy it. Yeah. So tonight it's all about fantasy football though. So, we're going to prepare ourselves and yourselves as well. Get it ready. Get her going over here. We have a little bit of neighborhood news, but it's mostly fantasy football all night long. So, all right, let's start. Let us begin over here. The quick news, just to go through it, guys, real quick. What do you think of Roquan Smith asking for a trade, D? I'll get my thoughts real quick just to get it out there. I think Chicago should do it because, they suck already, so they might as well get some draft picks or something out of it if they can. I don't know. And thank you, Ma, by the way. I appreciate that with the shout out.
Yeah. Now, I definitely agree with you. Like, Chicago has no reason to try to play hardball here and try to keep him around. If he feels like he's, not valued there, especially with a team that's in rebuilding mode, like you said, go ahead, get the draft picks. It's kind of different from the Kareem Hunt situation, but I feel like this one is where Chicago should be like, you gave us some good years of service here. You haven't been any trouble for us. We can go ahead and grant you your wish. Now, where you go depends on who gives the best offer. We can't really determine that, but we can get you out of here.
Yeah, the deal is, he is a very good player. There's no question about it. We know that, Nikki. The guy's a really good player, and he's going to get paid, and that's what he wants. And Chicago doesn't need to go do that because they have problems everywhere else.
They really do. Looks like the Ravens might be in play, and I could see that. Why
Gosh,
not?
what more?
A lot of people are saying Odell Beckham to Baltimore, but I don't know about that.
I don't know. That's something I wanted to bring that up, actually. I was going to go there, but let's go there now. Odell Beckham. Here's the thing. I think why teams aren't signing him now, there was something with if they sign him now, before the season, then his whole contract would be guaranteed or something along those lines. Something is guaranteed. But if they do it within the season, then it's not. Plus the fact he's not ready to play yet. So nobody's jumping on him. I don't know, Nikki, where his best fit is. I keep hearing Dallas. That does make sense. He would fit. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you know that, right? Really.
Damn it.
I know. But he's not going back to the Giants. That's not going to happen. So forget that. But I don't know where he would go. But he's definitely somebody who's going to get picked up at some point. Maybe the Rams again.
Yeah, I could see the Rams, right? I mean, I feel like that's a good fit for him.
I know.
I could see Baltimore. I do think that he would do well there.
Yeah.
I mean, please,
We do well anywhere.
not Dallas. Don't speak that into existence.
I
But that's
don't know
what I mean, David's gonna be like, "Oh, Saints got to get him. We don't need him. We gotta get him."
if I had control,
We don't need any more receivers. We're pretty stacked. He definitely could use him last year. But,
Yeah.
you're good.
This year we're pretty stacked. But I think we definitely can see him in all those places that you guys talked about. And also, it makes sense to wait. Like Jason was saying, if you pay him now, it's guaranteed. You don't know if he's really going to come back fully himself. So you want to wait and see that. So I would wait and see as well if I was a team.
I don't have to wait and see on Pops over there. We're getting love from the family right now. All right. Yes. Thank you, Dad. Appreciate it. Yes. The entertaining trio that we are. And we don't try. That's what makes it beautiful. I think that's why we're.
And a lot of people copy us. Don't think that I don't see the content that we put out and I see everybody all of a sudden the next day, they got something very similar or they damn near just rip off your content.
Weird how that happens. At least give us a shout out when you're doing it. Come on.
Give credit.
Hey,
I mean,
what? We
listen,
love you.
I broke something pretty early yesterday, and all of a sudden it goes.
So the glass, you have to clean
I'm
it up.
getting credit.
Yeah. That's what happens when you break things. It's all right. Nobody wants to give you. Hey, listen, I was the first person on the planet who said Deshaun Watson was going to Cleveland. Not one person came and kissed my butt, but that's okay. That's all right. I'll deal with it. Speaking of Watson, so what? I don't need to show it off on air. Just take my word for it. Anyway, Roger Goodell, speaking of Deshaun Watson, he wants him out of here for like the entire year. I understand it. I get it. But, you should have been more of a big mouth to begin with, I guess. But calling him predator, like his actions were predatory, his behavior was predatory. So he wants him suspended for the entire year. What do you think? Do you think he deserves it? Do you think Goodell's out of line? What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
It's so hard to say what he deserves, right? We talked about it last week. It's just such a different situation compared to all the others that we've seen going in the NFL. I do think the NFL, for one of the first times in a very long time, is probably on the right side of the issue, right? Because they're coming down strong. They're saying they're not accepting this. They want more than what the judge handed down. So I think the NFL, no matter what happens, NFL actually looks good in this situation for the first time in a very long time when it comes to something like this. But legally, I don't know if they can get more than 6 games because even with all of the testimony, it didn't even go to trial. So that's my thing. That would be my cause to pause is how can you justify suspending him for a year and stopping him from working for a year on something that he didn't even, not only did he not go to trial, but not even get charged for to go to trial. So legally, I feel like it's going to be tough to get more than with the 6 games, but I think the NFL is on the right side of this one for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, all right, you make good points. I'm not sure it's going to be as difficult because I think they're going to use stupid things and wait against like Calvin Ridley's suspension, which is for a year, which doesn't make any sense, and use that as some sort of like weird leverage to say, well, if this guy got that, then he definitely deserves more than that in some sort of capacity. I'm not saying they're going to use that verbiage, Nikki, but when we look at it also, we say the same exact thing, like how can this guy be suspended for a year and he only gets 6 games when you compare the two allegations and whatever you want to say. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that it's going to be more than 6 games when it's all said and done?
It probably should be, but we talked about this on Courtney's. He had the women's panel, Women of Fantasy Football, and I think. Yeah, as he opened the show with that, and that was good because we all agreed, all the women on there. You're just very conflicted, right? And my main issue, and I say it all the time, is it's like different rules for different, for different people, for different players. So there's no, rhyme or reason, it feels like half the time. And I think a lot of the women fan base is very conflicted. I know I keep saying that, but I mean, it's real, right? I'm going to be there opening day. I mean, hell, I cover the Giants in training camp. So who am I to sit here and like preach about it? But it just feels gross. But then you have, like Dee mentioned, well, he didn't have legal charges brought against him. So there's either not enough, or I think we can all at least agree and say something went on. Whatever happened was way out of line, inappropriate, gross, and disgusting. And so I'm just at this conflicted point, and I don't know how to resolve it, really.
Well, fortunate for you, it's not up to you to resolve, so don't worry about it. You'll just have to sit back like the rest of us and see what does happen. All right. Boy, Brad over there, talk about the Giants. We'll talk about them. We definitely will. Hopefully they won't stink. By the way, Russell Baxter had good things to say about both of your teams. I think he does think your Giants are going to take a step forward this year. He really does. So
step forward, not quantum.
Significant step forward. Significant.
Okay, so this is we need. Is it significant leaps and bounds, quantum? Like what is the stack? You gotta tell us.
I was being generous with the significant. You should have left it at that because I don't want to deplete it.
I just want to know what the order is. Obviously, quantum is 1.
Yeah, quantum. You're not there.
And then significant.
Yeah, you're at a significant leap. Yes, significant leap. No matter which quarterback apparently will come in, because Brian Daboll, he believes in.
Don't start. Don't start.
I'm not starting.
You are starting. We are 11 minutes in. You're already starting. Do not. Propaganda. Stop. No. I am sick of the bullshit negativity from the goddamn Giants fans. Okay, I cannot handle it anymore. You understand? You see them on the timeline? No. Brian Daboll put Tyrod Taylor in because he had to talk to Daniel Jones and did not want to stop practice. And it's something that he did in Buffalo. He said it's the best practice. So stop.
Nikki, I'm going to let you listen. You catch your breath for a minute, then I want to hear what you have to say. You catch your breath for 1 second. If Daniel Jones is pooping the bed by week 4, week 6, is he out of here or what? Brian Daboll taking him out? I would. I'd yank him right out.
Yeah, if he's horrible, then you have a veteran backup who's a proven winner in the NFL, or someone who can win in the NFL, and Tyrod Taylor. So but hopefully he's not pooping the bed. Hopefully he's he's doing okay. But if he's not, I definitely can see him being yanked. But I don't think the one play in practice was indicative of anything coming. No.
Oh, of course not. Of course. Of course we love having fun with you over here, Nikki, with that one. No, but obviously you want what's best for your team anyway. And he's not tied to Daniel Jones in any way, shape, or form. So he will take him out if he need be. And if he sees that the team can take a step forward better with Taylor, and they have to draft a quarterback next year, that's what they'll do. But we'll see.
And that goes for any team, right? You're going to put in the guy that's going to give you the best chance to win. And none of us are tied to Daniel Jones. Just the negativity is like so sick. I mean, do you guys get this with like your own fan bases on your timeline?
No, it's like our teams are good.
Would you say your teams are good?
Teams are good. We don't have to worry about that too much. We don't know. Yeah, it's all good. D, what's up? Are you growing out a little bit more? You're looking good.
Growing out? It's a little nappy right now. I got to comb it out.
No. It looks good. It looks good. You look older and wiser, man. What up, Toby? Look, he's the youngest guy on the show. We need him to look older.
Distinguished.
That's the thing you missed, Jay. I finally wasn't the youngest guy on the show last week.
Wow, how about that? How did that feel? That's amazing.
I felt old. I felt really old talking to a 20-year-old.
You know how it feels, man. That's what's up. Oh, man. All right, let's get back to business. Bad business for the Jets. They're trying to get off to a good start, but they got a bad knee with Becton. That sucks. He's going to miss the whole year. He's not, actually, when I brought it up to one of my big-time Jet friends, but I try to say that 15 times fast. Anyway, he's like, not really that big of a deal. Next guy step up, because Becton wasn't there last year, so people aren't freaking out. But I thought it was a big deal. That guy is like 8'12", 9,014 pounds. That is one big dude, man. And he was going to play right tackle. I don't know. All right. Well, what's the last little bit of news? Oh, they're quick power rankings. And then we're going to get into all fantasy crap here. D, let me give you the first 12. All right. Man, this is by Dan Hanzus of Around the NFL. So he's an NFL writer, and he did his NFL power rankings for NFL.com, NFL. All right, so he went Bills, Rams, Bucks, 49ers. I don't know about that one. I'll be the first one to say it. Then Bengals, Packers, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Ravens, Raiders, Colts at number 12. No Saints in there. I know I said that kind of fast, but Bills, Rams, Bucks, Niners, Bengals, Packers, Chiefs on the outside of that, Chargers on the outside of that. I'm not loving that ranking up until like, I think after 3, he kind of went right down the hill.
Yeah, the first thing that stood out, like you said, the 49ers being that high. Now their roster is that high. We just don't know about Trey Lance. So when you have a big unknown at QB, I think that should knock you down a few slots.
It's a little premature right there.
Yeah, also, you might be high on Denver, so you might not have caught that on as it stuck out to you. But I think me and Nikki, when you said Denver there in that top like 8 or 9, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
am mile high on Denver. There's no doubt about it. I am. So maybe I kind of glossed over that. They are above the Chargers, which I like the Chargers better than the Broncos. So I'm with you guys on that one.
Yeah. The Chargers being behind them didn't make any sense to me. And then you also got teams like the Raiders that can be thrown there as well. That roster is pretty stacked. And I'm not mad that the Saints aren't in the top 12. I can see why they would be outside of that just based on the.
I'm at 13, just so you know, 13.
Okay, yeah, I'm not mad at 13. I can see why they would be put there, especially you still have your doubts about Jameis and our safeties being new. I can see, but outside of that, the roster's pretty stacked and left tackle, of course. So with those things, I can see why the Saints would be outside of the top 12. But outside of 49ers and Broncos, the other things on there, I'm okay with, but it's not, like you said, it's not the best power rankings I've ever heard.
Nah, definitely not the best. And then it gets a little strange. After then, the Cowboys at 14, Nikki. I don't like that. You don't like that, I'm sure. And then the Eagles are ranked after them. I think a lot of people would disagree at this point. Then the Titans, the Cardinals. I'm looking for the Giants, and I'm not even trying to be funny right now because
you're gonna scroll all the way to the bottom, I'm sure.
Dolphins, the Steelers, the Vikings. The Jets are ranked ahead of the Giants, for God's sake. Oh, boy. Wow. All right. This list is a little messed up over here. I don't know about that one. You mad, Nick?
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Oh, what am I mad about? No, I'm not mad. I'm calm.
You're realistic. All right. Good. I like that.
She already went off. She already went off earlier. We'll be calm.
Yeah, I know. Freaking tap off already. It's already done.
Yeah, I am going to be calm for the rest of the show.
Okay. Let's see. We have a long show, by the way. We have a long time to go. All right. So you're on the clock. All right. Let's see what happens. All right. Let's officially start this fantasy thing over here. Let's do it with Mount Playa. We're going to do our top 4 fantasy NFL teams. So basically what that means is exactly what you heard. The best NFL teams, the NFL teams that have the best fantasy players on them, what we think. So we each have our top 4. So we're going to go through it from 4, 3, 2 to 1, like Mount Playa does. Nikki, let's start with you. Ladies first, always. Who's your number 4 team in the NFL with the best fantasy players on them?
Remember, we changed that to ladies option. We're modern now.
Oh, excuse me. Would you like to go first? Pardon-moi.
Yeah, I do like to go first and everything.
Okay, there you go.
Well, you just talked about the Raiders, so I have the Raiders number 4. I mean, you guys know I'm high in Derek Carr. I think he's a baller. And then you got like Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. They fixed that defense, so they've got some nice pieces in place. I think that team can go a lot of different places. It's going to be a fantasy juggernaut. Underrated.
Maybe so underrated because I didn't have him on my list, D. Do you like that? What do you think?
No, I do like that pick. All the weapons you mentioned with Adams, we all know he's a fantasy darling. Even at wide receiver, some people will pick him, top 5 overall because he is that good. Darren Waller would be one of the top tight ends. Renfrow is somebody who, if you're in a league where you play per catch, he's somebody who's definitely very, very valuable because he gets the ball a lot. A good running back. They have pretty much everything you want as far as a fantasy team. So I like that pick.
Yeah, it's pretty good, Mickey. I'll give you credit there. Not bad. Starting off pretty good with you, number 4. All right. She knows what she's talking about. She was in the fantasy championship last year. Don't kid yourself. All right. She knows what she's doing. All right, D, who's your number 4?
My number 4 is the Buffalo Bills. You look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen's an absolute monster fantasy-wise, both throwing and running the ball. Wide receiver, you got Stephon Diggs. You also have Cole Beasley. You have guys. Cole Beasley is another one if you're playing in a PPR league who's very good for you. You're not going to get the most yards, but he'll get a lot of catches. in that type of league. He'll get you some points in that defense. So I was doing research for an article I wrote on the Saints defense, and every time I would look up stats, who's right there just standing out? The Buffalo Bills defense. Every time I looked up any type of category from last year, the Buffalo Bills defense stood out. It's absolutely crazy, and it got even better this past offseason. So I can see them creating a lot of turnovers and being a good defense fantasy-wise and, of course, in real life.
All right, so you're going to roll with that defense again as opposed to saying, you know what, maybe another team with a better running back, but D, you know your stuff. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. I'm going to take it. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right.
You don't argue with D, but you argue with me.
It's easier to argue with you. D's smarter than I am. I can't handle it.
So what are you saying? I'm not smarter than you?
I'm just trying to throw it
It's just fuel for my fire to take you down. When is the podcast draft? The 1st September?
Yeah, September 1st is when we're doing it.
I cannot wait.
I know. I can't wait either. Revenge is coming. It's coming.
Let you go.
Let you go. Here we go. Here we go. All right.
Whose idea was this? Like, who put all of us together in a friggin' fantasy league? Whose idea?
We make you stronger. That's what happens. The brothers make you stronger. You have two brothers here for you. We make you stronger. That's what it is all about. All right.
Sure.
We make you stronger, but still, all of us in this fantasy league is rough.
It's a lot of fun. Oh, the draft is going to be so much fun. D, you got to handle all that crap again. Good luck.
Yeah, you guys better sing happy birthday to me because my birthday's 2 days later. So
I'm
sing it now.
Okay. All right. You got it.
Make sure we put that in the draft for you.
Yes.
Draft order right there. All right. No doubt.
Yes.
We'll have a cake and everything. 12 teams, 12 candles. All right. All right. You're in. My number 4. Man, I put a few teams down. Ultimately, I went with Minnesota because they just have a lot. Kirk Cousins throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook at running back. I mean, that's a four-headed monster right there. And then even if Cook goes out, Alexander Madison steps right in and does a good job. So the defense I'm not going to speak about because they could be good this year, but defenses in fantasy could be a wild card sometimes, unless maybe you're Buffalo or Pittsburgh. Well, actually, Pittsburgh's not even that great because they don't get that many turnovers. They get sacks, but that's a whole different story. We're going to get into more of that crap when we go over my 7 fantasy freaking rules, all right? So I'm going Minnesota, number 4. They also got Irv Smith, who may step up this year. Kyle Rudolph and everything. Let's see if he can finally get the job done. So that's my number 4, Nikki. Do you think Minnesota belongs in there?
I wouldn't just because of the defense. So
okay, I dig it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
All right. Where'd you go with 3?
So 3, I have the Colts. So everybody knows I keep like pimping out, Matt Ryan and Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr.
2016?
Huh?
I just forgot what year it was. I thought it was 2016 for a second. Matt Ryan fantasy. I don't know. Got confused.
Oh, really? Because wait till you see how productive he and Alec Pierce are going to be because Matt Ryan is an incredibly productive quarterback and he does turn his second wide receiver options into production machines. So
you go right ahead and draft him.
On your water over there.
Go right. You think it's water. I'm freaking doing this.
I don't know what it is.
I'm drinking water.
By the way, the Colts had a top 10 defense last year. And by the way, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, how could they not be? Maybe I ranked them too low for you, but you're not a Matt Ryan believer?
I was, 14 years ago. Yeah, I was. Yeah, sure. He was young. And
he's a fantastic.
I love Matt Ryan. I'm kidding. Matt, I know you're listening to the show. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm just having fun with my friend over here. Yeah, he thinks I'm drinking Haterade. I love it.
Yeah, what flavor is Haterade?
All filled up in there. I have to pick on it when I get my chances, bro. I have to.
Glacier Ice Haterade. What is that clear one?
And who knows what the hell's in here? Wow, another special mixture of crap. All right, drink this, and you try to figure out my mystery drink. D, what's your 3?
At number 3, I went with Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I think, is stacked offensively. Joe Mixon's a good running back option. You got Jamar Chase. You got T. Higgins as well. Joe Burrow had a monster year last year. And their defense can be feisty as well. So I think that you hit on all components with Cincinnati.
It's pretty well done. They are the defending AFC champions as well. So, Nikki, you probably like that one right there, huh?
I do.
Yeah. It's a good one. I'm glad that we have different ones, all of us already, from 4s to 3s, because my number 3 is the Kansas City Chiefs. I know they lost Tyreek Hill, but you still have the best quarterback in the game, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes. Kelsey, best tight end in the game. Yeah, it's working out pretty good so far. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire takes on more of that Brian Westbrook type of role that, back with the Philadelphia Eagles when Andy Reid was coaching him and McNabb, and the way that style worked out. Then there's McCole Hardman, obviously. Jerick McKinnon's in there. Juju Smith comes over. Marcus Valdes-Scantling comes over. He can take the deep ball, man. He can get you those 50-yard bounds for touchdowns. So I think Kansas City at number 3 is pretty good. Even though Tyreek Hill is not there, I think they belong. So that's my number 3, Ding.
Okay. Nah, I'm not mad at that because you mentioned the quarterback and Pat Mahomes. If you have him, definitely set you up to have success fantasy-wise. I would be a little wary of the other weapons there, but QB, you got locked up with Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. And the defense did play better as the year went on last year. We'll see if they do pick that one up. All right, Nikki, what do you got for 2?
Cincinnati.
Okay. Two great minds think alike right there. Love it.
Yes.
You want to add on to his juice, or you want to leave it at that and move it on?
I mean, basically said everything. You guys know I'm a big Joe Burrow fan. It's my boy, my other boy. Aside from
You got too many boys, all right, Brent, don't listen anymore.
Yeah, I got to stick up for Matt Ryan because he's a great fantasy quarterback, and you want to just poop all over him. And Joe Burrow. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just take them all. All the quarterbacks are hers. All of them. Everyone.
Nikki, this would be my only pushback on Matt Ryan. He was a great fantasy quarterback in Atlanta. A lot of those years, they were coming back from behind, so he's throwing a lot of yards and garbage time.
Yeah.
He won't have as much garbage time this year with the Colts. So maybe he doesn't get those fantasy points that he got with Atlanta in those years when, he was playing for the sucky Falcons.
Yeah, and that's a good point. But I think that
that's a good point. Okay.
It is a good point. But
now all of a sudden it's a good point made. All right. Now she wants to
make any point. You're just drinking your Gatorade.
That's a good point.
I understand what he's saying, but I think he's still I think he just doesn't get considered as, a good fantasy quarterback. And typically he is. So we'll see.
Typically he is. You are right. All right. So you went with the Bengals at 3. So at 2, I'm sorry. Steve, who do you got at 2?
I'm sorry. Is that your freaking landline going?
Yep. It is. I have nothing to say at all. I know. I'm very embarrassed right now. I can't believe I didn't shut that damn thing off. Holy crap. This is pathetic. My landline is going.
You want to talk about Matt Ryan 2016?
I'm old.
You had a freaking landline.
The line of the night. Here it is. The line of the night brought out by hubby.
You have
That's a 99 call. He wants his phone back. I love it.
What's your answering machine message?
It's like a robot. Please leave a message.
Do you come home and hit play, that little red, light?
Yes, yeah.
Like
that big giant box. It rewinds all the way back.
Yeah,
yep, I still got one of the rotary phones. 7.
You got like a fax machine and shit over there? Yeah.
Sure do. A fax machine. Absolutely. I got the shredder right next to it.
Are you on dial-up? Is that what it is?
I got dial-up, internet. I still have an AOL account. There's no question.
You do have an AOL account.
I don't lie. Yes, I do. It's true. 100%. It ain't freaking broke. I'm not going to fix it.
AOL accounts, but you want to come at me for digging in the past for Matt Ryan. Okay.
Get off my lawn. That's right. Get off.
Oh, man.
All right, D. Yeah, D just sits back and listens. He's like, oh, for goodness God. All right, save us, bro. Did you do your number 2 yet? Because I'm lost, man.
Yeah, so it's my number 2 now, and my number 2 is New Orleans Saints. All right.
All right.
I would not just end the segment. I just can't.
Get him.
First of all, Alvin Kamara.
You are Homer Simpson. Oh my God.
Alvin Kamara not a top 5 fantasy.
He's not even going to play half the year.
He only missed 4 games last year. So is Alvin Kamara not a top 5 fantasy running back?
He's getting old, man. All right. Okay.
Last time we saw Michael Thomas, he broke the record for receptions in a season. Is that not
Michael Thomas? He broke his knee.
He's looking great in training camp. Unlike the Giants training camp, Saints fans have been
Yo,
great
wait a minute.
about hearing.
Okay, you want to just come at me with your, what do they call it, strays and bullets? Like, for once,
Yeah.
I'm not involved. It's like Housewives, right? I'm like, oh, okay, I'm the one that's not involved.
We're gonna have.
I always catch strays
Giants
from you,
training
Nikki.
camp, they've looked
I always
good.
catch strays from you. You and Jay
Yeah,
arguing.
don't try to lie to me.
Just randomly, I just catch a stray in the neck. So yes,
Yeah.
you're catching a
Homer.
stray right
Yeah.
now.
You're a homer.
You are such a. I can't. This is a major homer pick, but you know what? It actually does make sense, especially when he says it. I do get it. You know what? They do have.
Like I said, Alvin Kamara is going to ball out. Michael Thomas, absolute baller when healthy, has been looking like himself at training camp. Jarvis Landry, PPR monster. Chris Olave, come on, man. That's a reason why he was so highly touted coming out of college, right? That defense was monstrous last year, creating a lot of turnovers, forcing teams to kick field goals. You're going to get fancy points with them, especially with sacks as well. So defense, running back, wide receivers, and Jameis throwing to them. Jameis was on Nikki's list as a fancy sleeper.
Yes.
So let's not act like this is a crazy pick. That's the same. It's not.
You know what? It's really not that crazy, actually. It really isn't. I mean, it is Homer freaking Simpson. There's no question about it. But it's decent, and that a lot of it does depend on Jameis Winston. That's the thing. I mean, that's why they're not on my list, because he's not. I feel like the guy. Look. You don't want him to throw for 5,000 yards this year, right? You don't want that to happen. If that's happening,
that's the thing, though. But this year, like last year when he was playing, he was at a low pace as far as passing the ball because we didn't have weapons. So he's going to be throwing the ball at a higher pace this year because we have weapons to throw the ball to. But of course, we don't want him throwing it to where he's throwing it the most in the league. And he doesn't have to do that with the running game that we have. So if he's on pace for 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns and 13 interceptions, that's a fine year, both real life and fantasy wise. And I think he can do that.
I dig it. We'll see. All right. Let me give you my number 2. I think they're just better teams than, honestly, what you guys have said, both of you combined. I'm a little baffled, to be honest with you. The Dolphins are in. I have another 3 more teams. The Dolphins are my number 2. Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, Tua, yes, Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, their defense. Yo, dude, are you freaking kidding me? The Dolphins are whacked, stacked, fantasy freaking .com city. Here we come. That team has got it all. And Tua is going to benefit from all these guys. He may be a guy that you want to like sleep on and wait on until like the 12th round to go pick, because we're going to be talking so much fantasy. Grab him. He's going to benefit from these dudes alone. This team is fantasy freaking city. I don't know how they can. I don't know if they are your number 1. If they are, fine. But they should be on everybody's freaking list. I'm sorry if they're not. Nikki, I don't know. Miami, come on.
Yeah, I don't trust the quarterback. And some of those players are injury prone. So
Who?
Mostert's injury prone, which is why Edmonds probably be a good back. And you want to talk about value, you can also get Matt Ryan in the very last round as well, instead of risking it on Tua.
Yeah, but there's a reason you can get Matt Ryan in the last round.
I would rather have Ryan than Tua.
Thank you.
Because with Tua, I just don't trust him at all to get the ball downfield or get the ball into tight spaces. He's going to be throwing a lot of those. So you'll get a lot of, if it's PPR, you'll get a lot of those little catches, and you'll get little 5-yard catches in that 1 point for the catch. But if he's not throwing the ball downfield, now your running backs are playing against stacked boxes. I can see fancy-wise how this team could be very, very disappointing. So that's why I don't have him on my list.
Oh, God in heaven. Oh, my God. I can't wait to play this one back. I can't wait to play it back. It's going to be fantastic. This is going to be great. When Tua is throwing bombs during the season, I mean bombs down the field to the Cheetah. Bombs down the field.
Bombs. Okay.
Forget
the
it.
only way he's throwing bombs is if they put a literal cannon on the field and put the ball in there and they blow it out. That's the only way he's throwing bombs.
No, different coach.
Why are you so high on Tua?
Because, listen, Tua, to me, has shown that he can play quarterback in the NFL. They haven't let him loose last year and the year before that, when he doesn't throw interceptions, when he wins in the fourth quarter, when he's extremely accurate and gets the ball to the guys that he has to when he has to. Go look at the tape. When he needs to win, he wins. He brings them back in the fourth quarter. End of story. I don't even have to do anything. Just go watch. So go watch this year. He'll do the same exact thing, except they'll be playing from ahead and he'll be holding leads.
Last year they beat a lot of bad teams when they went on that little winning streak.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And it was the defense. It was the defense.
It was the defense.
Yeah, the defense was dominating those
showed
games.
up for like 8 games out of nowhere.
In the game they played against the Saints on Monday Night Football, the Saints had 25 guys out with COVID, and they still probably won the game. Like they got a lot of luck in those.
They still went in your house and beat you up. They still went in your house and beat you up. That's what happened.
25 guys had COVID. The coach had friggin' COVID too, right? Didn't the coaching staff have COVID?
Gracious.
Yeah, like a lot of the coaching staff was out for that game too.
Let me tell you something.
For that game.
This team went ahead. They started 1-7 and had the heart and the power to come back and win, and just missed the playoffs by that after a 1-7 start.
Defense did it.
And
they're part of fans, by the way.
When it came time for Tua to really show up, who they played against? Was it the Titans, where they need to get that win to stay in playoff contention? Mm-hmm. And Tua just didn't show up at all. Yeah. When it came time for Tua to really show up when they needed him, because the defense wasn't going to be able to carry him, he did not show up.
We can say that about pretty much every quarter, except for Tom Brady, in every single situation, in everyone in this whole entire league. Ryan Tannehill, I mean, not Brian Tannehill. You guys think he's better than Tua? He didn't show up against Cincinnati last year. I mean, whatever.
I don't like Tannehill either. I don't like any of them.
Yeah,
nobody really likes
it. It's not like we're praising Tannehill. Like we're just saying that.
Whatever. We'll see. Anyway, I made my case for the Dolphins and Tua, and I will be happy to make a side bet with you. I'll even shoot, man. I can't wait to make our freaking picks. It's going to be wonderful. All right, let's go. Number one, Nikki, what do you got? Probably some horrible team. But you got the Jaguars or something?
Team. The defending champs. Some horrible team. The Rams. Yeah,
the Rams. They're not even on my list. They didn't even make my top 9. Go ahead. Give me your ridiculous reasons why. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The Rams didn't make.
Yeah, Stafford leads the league in interceptions. I don't know who's going to run the ball this year for them. You think it's going to be Cam Akers, but go ahead, tell me.
It is going to be Cam Akers. Why is it not going to be Cam Akers?
See him stay healthy.
The Cam Akers show is coming, okay? Mm-hmm. Like the number one wide receiver. The defense is sick. You could also draft all their backups if you had to, and you're still going to be straight. You're going to be cool. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Who are the backups, by the way? Nobody. None. They don't have backups because they only paid for starters. They only have 22 players on their roster. That's it. They only have starters. That's it. All they could afford.
Matt Stafford is a damn good fantasy quarterback, and you just want to sit here and hate on him, and that's fine.
No, I don't want to hate on him.
You know how I got to the finals last year with Matt friggin' Stafford. I don't care how many interceptions he throws. How many interceptions do you think Jameis Winston's going to throw? And he's still going to be a great fantasy quarterback. You are just like
right at you, D. See, you didn't even have to do it.
I just catch it straight for no reason. I'm not even hating on your pick. I like the pick, but I just catch it straight. This is why I have to bring strays back to you, Nikki, because you just shoot them at me.
But I meant that as a compliment. Like I have Jameis as a sleeper. I know he's risky, high risk, high reward.
Wow. Okay.
Jay, who's your number one? I mean, really.
You saved the best for last, obviously, and I'll just. You'll flip out when I say because you yourself are going to be like, wow, I missed that one. But D, go ahead. Give her a better number one.
My number one is the LA Chargers. So
it ain't the
Rams. But I like the Chargers fantasy wise. Justin Herbert, his first 2 years, we've all heard the stat about how no one has thrown as much yards as he has and touchdowns. So we know fantasy wise, he's a great quarterback. You got Keenan Allen, who he's throwing to, and Mike Williams, and you also have Austin Eckler coming out of the backfield. So you have your wide receivers, your running back, your quarterback, and that defense is stacked. They're going to be creating a lot of turnovers between Khalil Mack and that secondary, catching a lot of interceptions. You might even get some pick sixes between those guys to create some defensive points for you. So I think the LA Chargers, fantasy-wise, have the best team because they're stacked everywhere.
I got no problem with that being in the top 4, wherever you want to put them. They were on my list. They should have made it was between them and Minnesota, to be honest with you, for number 4, but I got no problem. You just mentioned it. Eckler's going to be a top 5 fantasy running back this year. I love it. I love the fact that we all have different ones. In all honesty, I think that makes it a lot more fun. But, Nikki, what do you think of the Chargers? Because I have them on my list as well. They didn't, again, make my mount player, but they definitely have a lot of fantasy.
How do they not? Like, how did you determine Minnesota over the Chargers?
I think maybe because I think Dalvin Cook and maybe I think I like their combination of receivers better. Like Justin Jefferson, I think is the best receiver out of them all, and Thielen's probably third, and I'd have Keenan Allen second. That's my rationale. I don't know if that makes really any sense.
Nothing you say really makes sense.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. I teed it up for you. I was waiting for it. I was say it.
Okay, give us your
now
number
you got
one.
me.
Give us your number one.
My number one is the Tampa Bay Bucks, Nikki.
I knew he was going to say the Bucks. I knew he was going to say the fucking Bucks.
Mike Evans, Godwin when he gets back. Russell Gage is going to be a monster this year. Julio Jones could revive his career. Leonard Fournette, Cameron Brate, Rashard Perryman. That defense is great. And we know Tom Brady can lead the league again in touchdowns and yards. I don't know how they're not on your guys' list at all. Tampa Bay may have the best fantasy team out of everyone. I like the Chargers, definitely. I think the Bengals are a great pick by you guys, but how could Tampa not be on your list?
I wouldn't have Tampa number one for sure. There was definitely somebody who I thought about, but I wouldn't have number one because of the running back position. You mentioned Fournette. Fournette's not a guy who you pick in the top rounds fantasy-wise, and like Fournette's going to carry me to a championship, especially when he's carrying all that weight that he carried into the first week of training camp there. So, and they got rid of their backup as well. So Leonard Fournette's supposed to be the guy. And then with the wide receivers, they definitely have good wideouts. Tom Brady, I think the whole Tom Brady trying to fake retire to go to Miami and then come back, I think that's being underrated as far as the impact it could have on the team. I can see Tampa Bay starting off slowly, not trusting each other. Are they really trusting Tom after he tried to do that to you guys? I don't know. I see some chemistry issues.
That's a hot take right there. Whoa, that's a real hot take. All right. Okay. Lose the first game, these are going to be. I told you so. Okay.
Bragging rights. And you're going to have to eat crow.
Yeah. Right. You and Max.
Yeah. Wait till the end of the season.
I can't wait. I can't wait. But another team that I was going to mention that I think should belong on there is Philadelphia. I mean, Miles Sanders, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, obviously. They can have a really good defense too. I don't know. Nikki, I know what you think. Dee, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Jalen Hurts can, fantasy-wise, as far as his running and passing the ball, he's going to be as productive as other QBs, even though he's not going to have the stats they have. But fantasy-wise, he'll be just as productive. And you mentioned the weapons. So I definitely agree with that pick as somebody that's right there in that conversation.
I think people need to watch out for Philly this year. I think they're going to really make some noise. I ain't kidding around.
They are. So why would you say, oh, I know how you feel about it already?
Because you're not happy about it. I know you're not happy about it.
You have the knowledge. About it, but I am objective.
Do you want to comment on the Philadelphia Eagles? Because every time I mention any NFC East team other than the Giants, you don't want to say anything. So why do you want all of a sudden to say something now?
That's not true. That's not
bullshit. It's not true. You know it's true.
That is not true.
Okay. I know you.
I said that I think the Eagles are going to win the division. Like, that's not being objective. I don't know what else is.
Do you have anything else that you want to comment on it?
No.
Anything else? Exactly.
It seem like I can't be an objective person.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything else. We'll leave it at that.
You guys really argue like sisters and brothers who live together.
Oh my God. It starts with me all the time.
I'm trying to help you. I really am.
You're trying to help me what? What are you trying to help me do?
Be a wonderful person that you are. Best in you. No, you're wonderful. I love you, Nikki. No, I really do. I love you. I love you with all my heart. All right, let's move to the 7 rules, the Hitchhiker's Guide to Fantasy Football, and we'll see if you guys agree. So there's 7 rules that I've been going up by for like 22 years. It's been like 22 years I've been using these rules, and they have got me championships before, so let's not beat around the bush over here. Let's not joke, okay? Okay? So first rule, save your kicker for last. D, to me, it makes perfect sense. You don't know. Look, Justin Kicker may be the most accurate kicker in the history of the world. We don't know how many kicking attempts he's going to have for Baltimore. So to me, why waste any pick other than your last pick on the kicker?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. You can even wait till get a kicker after the draft. Like you can pick a guy up off the waivers. Like you can, right. Yeah, you definitely can wait on that for sure.
Thank you. All right, Nikki, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, hell, sometimes I'll just pick one up, a new one each week.
There you go. That's a great point. That's another thing. Once my kicker goes on a bye, it's not like I put him aside and no, I just take a new kicker, swap it out, and then that's it. Done deal.
Unless you have Justin Tucker. I understand wanting to hang on to him for sure.
I actually do understand that. I can go 1 week with having an extra kicker if you have a guy like him.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. But I'm not going to go ahead and draft him in the 10th round. That's not going to happen. No way.
If you go 1 round or 2 rounds early on Justin Tucker, I can see that.
Yeah.
He may be the only exception on the planet. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. He may be it. That would be it. And man, he's getting up there in age. I got to see how old he is. But he signed a deal. He signed an extension. The only kicker in the world that I make news sign an extension is Justin Tucker. Unbelievable.
Is he getting old? I don't know how.
I don't think about that. I think he's still like lower 30s. I think.
How old is Justin Tucker? I gotta find this out right now.
Ask Siri.
I don't want to ask her. I just want to type it in because she'll probably think I'm saying something else.
Pretty useless.
No, he's been around for a while, but I don't think he's old.
Yeah, he's 32. Okay, all right. No, that's not old at all. I'm old. That's not old.
You're about to say a kicker. He's in this. About to say he's still got another 10 years left.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, I was wrong on that one. Wow, it seems like he's been around forever. Jeez. Okay.
It does seem like he's been around forever. Yeah,
it really does. Wow, he's going to break every record. Holy shit! Wow, that's right. He's going to break every record. All of Vinatieri's records are going to be out of here. Yeah. See you later. For real. Sure. Hall of Fame city, that guy, no doubt. All right. My rule number 2: stock up on running backs and wide receivers, especially running backs. I'll even use guys, honestly. My first 5 or 6 picks on running backs and wide receivers, because especially again the running backs, they're so precious and they're so few and far between where you find the guys who really are the number one guy and carry the ball, the ball predominantly. So I think you have to get a lot of those guys, not just in the first 6 rounds, but even later on. I think it's where you really build your draft, is by stocking up on those guys and finding those little diamonds in the rough, Nikki.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's usually my strategy, although I don't like to talk about strategy, but I usually do just stock up, right? I know some people, I don't know, some people out there really reach, and that's fine, but I rather just stock up on wide receivers, running backs, because as we've already said, you can get your kicker at the end. You can get a decent quarterback like a Matt Ryan right at the end. Actually, you might just be able to pick up somebody like Ryan Tannehill and not draft a quarterback at all if you don't feel like it. So.
There you go. I'm with it. D, what do you think? Stock up on these guys, right? I mean, I think it's important. It doesn't mean you have to use your first 6 picks on them, but we'll get to reaching in a little bit. But, it's pretty important, these picks.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a plethora of running backs and wide receivers to go to, just because whenever, because you're not looking at bye weeks usually. Like, if you're doing too much where you're looking at bye weeks, then you're concentrating on the wrong things, because then you're drafting players for the wrong reasons. So you might mess up and have week 7 where you have 3 running backs or 2 running backs and wide receiver on a bye. So you want to make sure that you have backups that are capable of coming in and scoring for you. So you definitely want to stack up on those 2 positions for sure.
No doubt. Because your lineup can look very different week 7 already. Players getting injured. Who knows what happens? Even you make a trade, God knows what can happen. All right. The third rule is don't get a quarterback too early, even if it is Josh Allen or Mahomes or Rodgers or Brady, whoever you think is. Because you can get Matt, no joke. Yes, you can get Matt Ryan later on. You can get Derek Carr later on, Kirk Cousins later on, and they're going to put up very similar numbers when it's all said and done. So, guys, in my opinion, Nikki, don't reach for a quarterback. Wait and get one of those quote-unquote middle-of-the-road guys who's still going to get you pretty much what those top-tier guys do get you at the end of the season.
Yeah, I understand that, but I do understand if somebody does want to reach for like a Josh Allen. There's only a couple quarterbacks I think that would be okay to reach for, but I don't know. Last year I got Matt Stafford damn near the end, so.
And look at how great that worked out for you. Exactly. That's perfect. That's a great point right there. Yeah. D, it seems like you agree with this, because if you do reach for one of those guys, then you're going to miss out on one of those wide receiver or running backs that you're just not going to get.
Yeah, normally when I get a QB, it's rounds 10, 11, somewhere in there, because I want to, snap somebody who I think is going to have a year that maybe other people aren't seeing. But I'm definitely not going early on a QB unless it's somebody who I think is just going to, like a Lamar Jackson, somebody who maybe I go early for just because his impact is so dynamic as far as running and passing the ball in fantasy. Okay. But outside of that, I'm just waiting to get somebody else who can definitely put up those same stats, like you said.
Yeah, I'm going to wait a while. I would recommend, don't wait till minimum the 6th or 7th round. That minimum. But I'm waiting even longer. The fourth one is pretty quick. This is whether you really agree or not. I'm waiting on my defense till basically either my 2nd or 3rd to last pick. I'm not going any higher on that because, again, defense as the Bills may be one of the standouts, D, and you pointed that out. You did a good job earlier where they're, in all those categories, but it's very rare that teams year in and year out are highly ranked fantasy-wise on the defensive side because turnovers, they come and go, right, D? So I would wait on a defense as well.
Yeah, like last year, the defense that you probably wanted was Dallas because they created so many turnovers, right?
Right.
You definitely can't depend on that this year. So you can't be like, oh, I'm going to get Dallas. I'm going to go ahead and go early and give them the 5th round. And then they come out and Trayvon Diggs only has 2 picks this year. It definitely would suck for you. So you can wait on the defense for sure. It's not something that you have to reach early on. I can see you going a little bit early just to make sure you get a top 1, just to surprise me, the people you're playing with. You go 12th round, you're like, oh, let me go ahead and just sneak the Bills in there real quick while they're not paying attention, not looking for a defense. I can see that. But beyond that, I wouldn't go too early on a defense.
Yep, but you definitely want to build those picks up, Nikki, like we're talking about. Wide receivers, tight ends. What's up? There, Nini Rodriguez saying what up there, Nick.
Hi, Nee.
Yes. Do you agree? Again, waiting on the defense a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like this is every league. Sorry, I just don't know what's going on today with the hair. I feel like it's every league, right? It's like that one person is like, all right, I'm going to be the one that takes the first defense, right? And then everybody's like, oh, shit, I better get mine too, So there's always one person that kicks it off. And it's always a little bit too early, and then there's a run on defense. Actually, didn't that happen to us last year? And
it happened with tight ends. It happened with tight ends last year with us.
Oh, tight end. Yeah, what the hell? God.
See, that's perfect. I don't even have to try to do this. You guys are basically
get the landline, rip it out of the wall.
Damn! I can't believe it. Oh, shut up.
The only people call the landline is like, telemarketers. Yeah.
And I don't owe anybody money. I don't think I owe anybody money. What is happening here? Oh my God. Leave me alone. I'm doing a show. God, we're talking about fantasy football. Stop it. All right. We're just talking about tight ends, right?
What kind of landline is it? Is it like...
I don't even know. I swear to God, I haven't picked that thing up in 13 years. I have no idea.
Really?
Like,
well,
when you pick up the phone, you have to walk with the string. and wrap it around your arm. Have it with you.
Like the extra long cord, like in the pantry with it and shit.
Oh, my.
Oh, is it the clear phone that you could see like all the mechanical stuff in it?
I don't even know what it looks like. I don't. Should not even
use the landline because you get a lot of
came to the apartment. The person didn't even want it. Who sold me the apartment? Like, just take it. Just take the phone. We have no use for it.
A hard time, but I guess God forbid, cell service goes in an emergency, you might need a landline. I don't have one, so
yeah, I may never live this one down, but I'm smarter than everybody for having one.
Oh. You are ready for the apocalypse. We've said that before. I think we've had that as a category. We said if we ever had an apocalypse happen, we want to go to Jason's house.
Oh, I'm going to Jay. Yeah, no, I am. Because probably the aliens like him and shit, and he's
now you're understanding. Now you're getting it. Yes, we have a companionship. We get along. We speak mental telepathy to each other. So it works out great. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful thing.
Coming really right over to you. It's like 1980 over there. So,
Beam me up, Scotty. All right, there we go. Anyway, all right, as we've gotten completely off track to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Fantasy Football Rule, we're on number 5 right here, and you were alluding to the tight ends. And if you don't get a top-tier tight end, don't be like the fools were last year and freaking going on a tight end run. Just because somebody took a tight end, it doesn't mean you have to. Just because somebody jumps off a bridge, you don't have to do that either. Don't do it. If you don't have a top-tier tight end, then just wait. Get the other guys.
I do think top tier tight end is worth quote unquote reaching for because that you can win that position each week if you get a Travis Kelce or a George Kittle or a Darren Waller. Now, once those guys are gone, like you said, okay, just try to find somebody who you think is going to be like a diamond in the rough at that point. But those top guys are definitely worth it because you win that position and gives you a very good chance to win your game.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Go after the top tier ones, but after that, Nikki, no. Then it's okay. Then get the last 6, 7, or 8 guys who are all going to do the same thing.
Tight end's always the toughest one for me, right? Because I do the whole stacking up thing. It's usually a couple people ahead of me who do get the really good tight ends. And then I kind of have to piecemeal it together, right? It's like maybe not necessarily a week to week thing, but maybe every couple weeks I'm changing them out. So, and then God forbid your tight end gets hurt. And it's just one of the tougher positions.
It is.
Let me look at the tight ends this year, okay? Hang on a second. I got it right over here. All right, so we got Travis. What's that thing? I'm sorry?
Mark Andrews is another one that might be worth getting in that top.
Well, let's see who's worth it. Let's see. We have Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews. Would you say Kyle Pitts is worth it?
He could be. That would be one of the guys I would say like it's a diamond in the rough. I wouldn't reach for Kyle Pitts, but he's one of those guys. Maybe you get a little later and you surprise people once that initial tight end run is done. You're like, oh, 8th round, Kyle Pitts is there. Now I wouldn't take him because I don't touch the Falcons, but I see somebody taking them in.
That's right.
Well, I'm glad you have bias.
Cowboys. Yeah.
I love when people have bias in their fantasy. It makes it so much easier for you to win. Thank you. I'll take that all day. So, I think they're going to. What, Nick?
Did you watch the show last week? We talked about this.
About me?
No.
About
when you draft a rival. So DNR.
I did see that. Yes, I did.
Cowboys, yeah.
I did watch that. That was good. That was really good. Obviously, it was good. Well done. All right. So Kyle Pitts, maybe 3. Darren Waller, is he one of them top tier guys?
Yeah, I would say he's one of the top tier guys.
Probably. Maybe it ends there because as much as I love George Kittle and as talented as he is, as good as he is as the rest of them, can't count on him to be healthy. So I don't know if I would, bust the bank on him, Nikki.
Yeah, for health reasons, yeah.
And plus, he's dependent on a rookie as well.
Yeah.
Or not a rookie, but a first-year starter at QB.
Unproven talent.
Yeah. Even though young quarterbacks love tight ends, but at the same time, I get what you're saying. I agree. Dallas Goedert, I would put him in that second tier, not top tier.
Yeah.
Second.
I agree.
Mike Gesicki, second tier for me.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz.
He could be somebody who could sneak up there because Dallas doesn't have the weapons they had last year. So I can see him maybe having a better year than people think.
Nikki, what do you think about Schultz? I mean, taking all bias aside, is somebody you would draft a tight end like second, third tier? What do you think?
Probably third. He probably third-ish.
Maybe he's beginning of the third tier.
Certainly wouldn't reach for him. No.
Maybe end of second, beginning of third tier, but maybe he's the 8th, 9th best. Because who's better? Is it maybe Dawson Knox? Is he better? Is TJ Hawkinson better? There's a couple other ones. David Njoku.
I feel like Hawkinson's going to be a really hot pick after Hard Knocks. He's going to be somebody people are definitely going to reach for. Yeah.
I don't know how much of a reach he will be, to be honest. I think Detroit's going to be fire this year. I mean, I really
fire.
Do. Yeah, I think
you're all in on Miami and Detroit.
I'm not saying we're going to the freaking Super Bowl, but I like these two teams. Yeah, they both weren't in the playoffs last year, and they both could be this year. I said could be. All right, don't flip out. Don't flip. They could. I haven't made any picks.
I agree. Miami could be. Detroit.
In the playoffs.
Nobody thinks Detroit's going to be good. Why would they? But they played with a lot of heart, and they went after it like they were a playoff team this year. I mean, they even moved up in the draft to get Jameson Williams. Like, what the hell saw that? They're not pissing around. They're going for it.
No, I agree. They're moving in the right direction, but they're taking baby steps.
Yeah.
They're taking
baby steps, significant leaps and bounds. Quantum, Jay, what is in your drink? I mean,
I don't know. But the NFC is good really right now. I think that 6 or 7 spot could be up for the taking. Who knows? I don't know.
By the Lions and Jared Goff.
I'm behind the Lions. Hey, Goff. Went to a Super
Bowl
number 1.
That George Washington special.
Oh yeah, he's drinking that George Washington punch because.
That's right, baby. You know it. That's right,
man. See, we should have came to your house and tried it when I was out there.
Next time, you should have came. We would have had a good time.
There we go. They'll give you the Fearman special. All right, rule number 6: get players that play from behind. So get players who aren't on the greatest teams, like when Matt Ryan 6 to 12 years ago wasn't on such great teams with Atlanta, and they had to play from behind. Like,
you know what? I can't wait to play this tape back when I'm freaking right, because you're not going to be right about Detroit or Miami, but I am going to be right about Matt Ryan.
Bragging rights and Pro Bites is going to be very, very entertaining. This
year. It'll be great.
It really is.
It's going to be all tomatoes at you, Nikki. That's what's going to happen every single day. TomatoCity.com. And we got Freaky Fantasy Football Draft coming back where I just destroy you in that too. That's going to be fun. You're going to love all this.
Wow. It just gets more and more competitive each year. By the time we hit 5th year, we're going to kill each other.
Yeah, probably. There could be a few deaths on the panel, but we'll get subs. It's okay. We'll get people to fill in for us. No big deal. The show will go on. All right. So like I said, got to get players who play from behind. So players on bad teams, maybe not a bad thing. Like Brandon Cooks, he could be a star freaking fantasy player, D, right?
Yeah, nah, for sure. I love that rule. It's something that people like. I had one year a guy won our fantasy league with Blake Bortles at quarterback. You don't think you're not going to think that's going to help you, but Blake Bortles that year was playing from behind, getting a bunch of garbage time yards, and dude was killing. So you get that guy who gets a bunch of garbage time points, you definitely can win your league for sure.
Who might make the playoffs? She thinking Detroit? Is she a Detroit fan? Do you know?
No, she's an Eagles fan, but I think Niche is referring to Detroit.
But she's smart. She gets it. She understands.
She's very smart.
I know. I'm complimenting her. I don't know why she's hanging out with you. I know.
Hold on. I've known her way longer than you.
Rule number 7. Let's get out of here while I'm not decapitated yet.
Yeah.
Get backups for your starters, Nikki, right? Like who's the backup running back for the Giants? I don't even know right now.
Neither do I.
Saquon Barkley. I got to think, who the heck is it? Oh my God. Who backs him up? I don't even know. Who's backing up Kamara? Ingram?
Yeah, it's Mark Ingram.
So you want to get him, right? If you get Kamara, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't do that too often because I don't want to have a bunch of people on the same team. But it's something that you could do with somebody who you think is injury prone. So like a Saquon, I can see that. But also you can do it to mess up your other opponents, right? So if somebody thinks Saquon, Saquon's injury prone, let me go ahead and get his backup with the last pick. Just to kind of throw that in there.
That's a dirty move right there.
Yeah, that's something that I've done in the past and it's been done to me before as well. So that's also a sneaky move you can do is to get the handicaps, and also you can use it as trade bait. So I have something that you need. Go ahead and give me one of those wide receivers maybe that I'm looking at on your team.
Okay. All right. Look at this. All right. You're getting inside.
This is why this league is tough.
It is. It is.
Courtney did ask us, ask the ladies, do you have any advice and kind of tips? And my main thing was, and talking about this podcast league, was know who you're playing against for reasons like that. If you know your opponent's tendencies, you can kind of, screw them if you want to.
That's true.
Yeah.
How about that? All right. The orange juice. Screw them if you want to. Just come on, screw them right over.
It's the art of fantasy war.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I think your backup is Matt Breida, by the way, who can't stay healthy either. That's another. Yeah, that's a nice combination.
How many more
non-healthiness.
shots are you going to take at the Giants? Just let me get my bulletproof vest on.
I love Matt Breida. He came from us. We bred him, and now he breeded to other places and is not doing well. Miami, he didn't do well. Buffalo, he didn't do well, and now he's with the Giants. Okay, there we go. All right, Nikki. I have been giving it to you all show, so now it is your turn. Let's go. We have no music, but it is Knowledge with Nikki time, so it is time for you to absolutely destroy me. Go for it.
Okay. Well, today is National S'mores Day, and no, trivia is not all about s'mores, but it is about summer, so here we go.
Okay.
All right, Jay.
Bo Jackson.
Okay. For sure.
Yeah, Jay's first.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Last week we did the movie thing, and I think we met somebody who's seen less movies than I have, if you could believe it.
Oh no, really? Wow. Wait, how old is he?
He's 20, so of course, he hasn't seen any movies yet.
So he's only seen movies with CGI in it, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay, here we go. Number 1. And let's try to keep this segment professional, okay? Because it derails.
Me? I can't wait to hear the questions now. She's trying to set me up for failure over here. We already know what's going on.
No. Okay. I'm just saying, we always derail here. So let's just try to keep it professional.
I'll tell you what. I will not derail anything. Let's go. Okay. I will be straight and forward with my answers, and that's it. I won't even make a face. Let's rock.
Okay. Which 2 vegetables experience higher sales in August than any other month of the year in the United States?
Broccoli and corn.
Well, you got one. You got corn.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to go with avocado for the other one.
Squash.
You want some squash? All right. So do I get a half a point or no point?
You get a half a point because I'm nice.
Thank you. Mug out corn too.
Okay. Which summer blockbuster film was the first to be promoted to the audience via expensive TV advertising?
I'm sorry, I didn't even understand the question. I'm not trying to be funny at all. Can you say that one more time?
Which summer blockbuster film was the first to be promoted to the audience via expensive TV advertising?
Terminator 2?
No.
That's a really good guess. Via, so I'm trying to think, summer blockbuster. I'm gonna go Independence Day.
It's a good guess too.
Jaws.
Oh wow! So way back. I didn't think that far back. Yeah.
Mom said Titanic. That's a good guess also.
Okay, Jay. Which month of the year is National Ice Cream Month?
I don't know this. I guess so. My educated guess would see. National Ice Cream Month. July.
It's July.
Okay.
Oh,
Good job.
yeah.
Just a guess. Never know. I knew it too. Wow. All right.
Okay. S'mores are consumed in which city and state more than any other place in the U.S.?
Chicago, Illinois.
No. Oh, that's Dee's favorite place. He wants to move there. He told me how much he loves it.
Right.
Loves the snow and the cold. Loves it. Loves to watch games there.
Hilarious.
No, I know it's beautiful, but I have nothing to do with the cold no more.
Definitely not.
Since Chicago, me and Mom are on the same page in everything right now. That is insane. We've given the same answers for everything. Well,
Right,
D, you got to guess that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a super obvious answer. That's probably not right. I'm gonna go Hershey, Pennsylvania.
That's a good
I
guess.
love it. That's awesome.
No, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, okay. I was in the general vicinity. We are, Ma. We're right there. We're right there. Oh, we got to say what's up to my buddy over here, Jerry. What's up, Jerry? Good to see you, man. Even though we're saying hi to my father, that's okay. I'll say hi to you.
What's going on, Jerry?
Hi, Jerry. All right, D, ready?
Yes, ma'am.
In which year was the beach ball invented?
Ooh. I'm going to say 1952.
No. Jay?
1901.
1938.
Oh, right in the middle of us.
Oh, yeah, not too far. Okay. What is the Guinness World Record for the longest barbecue?
The longest
He
barbecue.
was close on that one. He was.
Yeah, Nini was close.
So what was the question? I'm sorry. The world's longest barbecue?
Yep.
Like time-wise?
I'm going to say it lasted 72 hours.
Jay?
I'm going to say it went 2 weeks.
D, you're closer. 80 hours.
Oh, that's a good guess, D. Nice.
All right.
Okay. Yes. Very good.
All right, D. How
1.5 to 1.
1.5 to 1.
1.5 to 1.
Yeah, Nini got 1 point, right? Because she was close on the other one. How
close.
many varieties of watermelon exist?
Wow.
I know you love those. So
I love watermelon.
Yeah,
I
so
like
this
that
takes
shit.
us back to a classic Nas with Nikki question about the different apples. We found out there's way more different varieties of apples than we ever thought of. So different watermelons, though. That's the thing. I haven't seen, like with apples, I've seen a bunch of different apples. I'm like, okay, I can see that.
yeah.
The watermelons, I haven't really seen that many different watermelons. So I'm gonna say 10.
Jay?
1?
More than 1,000.
Oh my God.
Now I'm gonna be up all night looking up different watermelons.
Yeah.
How many of them have seeds?
I don't know. They're so annoying, the seeds, though, right?
I
Like,
hate them. They're the worst.
Yeah.
They don't belong in there.
no,
It's seedless watermelon all the time.
all the time. And lemons. I've been getting the seedless lemons lately.
All
Yeah,
right.
because hate when they get in your iced tea and it just like gets stuck in the straw and
It's kind of gnarly.
I like when I get drinks and people have like the raspberry stuff in there, and you'll have the seeds. I always ask for like the seeds out. I want to drink the liquid. I don't want to drink a seed. Like this.
I want to drink the seeds.
Dang, man.
Okay. Last one. How many pounds of marshmallows are bought by Americans per year?
Per year?
Yes.
Multiple questions. Per year? Marshmallows per year. Pounds.
How many pounds?
I feel like I'm gonna be off on this one because it's not like we just buy marshmallows.
I'm gonna try to use my calculator. I'm not cheating. I'm using my calculator.
I feel like per year, I'm gonna go 2 million pounds per year.
No. Jay?
I'll say, by my dumb quick math, about 25,000.
How about 90 million?
Holy shit! Wow.
That's crazy to me. I guess because I'm not a big marshmallow guy. I'm just like every once in a while you want to do s'mores, so we'll get the marshmallows. But it's literally like once every 6 months we'll have that craving. Like
And they weigh like nothing, though. You know, they're like fluffy. They're like air. They weigh like nothing. So pounds. Holy Moses, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Damn campers. Yeah, really.
Maybe that's what it is.
Right?
Like, probably children too, right? Like, I just see them like shoving their face with those little marshmallows. Maybe.
You know what?
It's all the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts buying all the marshmallows. That's what.
Let's think about this. Marshmallows an hour in like cereal and shit like that. You know, like how many pounds that adds up to alone is ridiculous.
Right.
That's a very good point, Jay.
And the Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah. There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Which is a good point. The cereal manufacturers, the Boys and Girl Scouts, buying up all the marshmallows.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
And Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. I wonder if there's any cereal mills in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's why all the marshmallows are going.
See, look at us solving supply chain issues.
That's
what we do.
Amazing what we do on the show. We do it. I won this one 1.5 to 1. That half a point got me something. It is worth a half a point, even in fantasy football. Half a point, that does count. So that does juxtapose over here. So my triumphant return with pneumonia, 1.5 to 1. But well played. Well played. Well played. Thank you, Nikki. Great questions as always. Excellent. All right. So we got a couple of other things to do over here before we skedaddle for the night. So, all right, let's hit it up. A little more fantasy to go. We each picked out our top fantasy player by position for the year. We're not going through linebacker and secondary and all that crap. It's quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, and defense. And if we want to throw a flex, we can do that in there. But why don't we start with quarterback? We can even base it off of our Mount player of the fantasy teams. Maybe that'll coincide in there. Let's see if there's any correlation. Nikki, why don't you start us off? Actually, let me ask you a question. Would you like to start us off? Give you the option.
No, I would like Dee to go first.
Okay, you go for it because it's an option. It's not ladies first.
It's an option, yes.
That's how we do it.
I love that.
I respect it.
For quarterback, I'm going to go Josh Allen. I think with his combination of running and passing, I can see him being even more dynamic in the passing game this year. So Josh Allen is my top QB fantasy-wise.
All right. And you talked about the Bills before, and you said, Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs. I can't agree with him on that one because I feel like there's another quarterback, and there might be a couple other quarterbacks who have more weapons to throw to and who are going to be playing maybe from behind a little bit more. Not necessarily my quarterback, but that's the thing, D. Like maybe Josh Allen is playing from ahead a little bit more because they have such a good team. But Tom Brady, I feel like, is going to be throwing the ball all day long. Like I said, they were my number one fantasy team. So Tom Brady, again, you said Leonard Fournette, not going to be much. So we know that Brady's going to keep throwing and throwing. So I went with him for number one with Godwin and Evans and Julio Jones now in there and Russell Gage and Cameron Brate. So that's where I went, Nikki, for one. So he's got Allen. I got Brady. Who do you got?
Joe Burrow.
Okay. A lot of weapons to throw to. Not bad. Nini, who you agree with?
Me.
Actually, I agree. I don't know. We can't hear you. Who do you agree with? I'm dying to know.
She's got to come
Her
on.
opinion matters. It does. She's part of the show now. That's how we do it. Tom Brady, you see, I told you she's smart. Very, very smart
Very
person.
smart. I know.
Very intelligent. Very intelligent. Very intelligent. All right. How about running back? Doesn't mean the best running back, Nikki, but fantasy running back. Who do you guys do number one?
Jonathan Taylor. Because
Okay,
I'm all
so-
in on the Colts. Okay.
I like the Colts a lot too. I'm with you. I think they're going to be.
Now, D. Now he likes the Colts.
No. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not mess around. Y'all know. First of all, me and CeeLou love the Colts. I love the Colts. Y'all know that, and I'm rooting for Matt Ryan, and I like Matt Ryan, but I don't think he's going to be a freaking god at fantasy quarterback.
An hour ago, you were shitting all over the Colts, saying I was old.
As if no, I was not. Don't put words into my mouth, you young lady. You. I said I don't put Matt Ryan as a fantasy quarterback. I love the Colts. Love the Colts. Not only do I love the Colts with my heart, but with my head, I love them as well. And I know they're going to be a good team. But I know that Matt Ryan is not going to be a good fantasy quarterback. And I hope you draft him.
Oh, my God.
I hope you start him. I'll give you, you know what? I'll give you $10 every week to start him. How about that?
I'll start him. Fine. Nobody's taking him in the podcast league.
Nobody was going to take him. Don't worry about it.
That's not true. There are plenty of people who agree.
Nobody's going to take
You know
him.
who agrees with me? LaDonna, the champion of our league. Thank you very much.
I'm sure she does not. LaDonna won because she's smarter
go
than
watch the show from Saturday when I brought it up.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again, even though I watched it already. All right. Fine. All right. So there we go. Anyway, I lost my head. Running back, we're going where? You went who? Jonathan Taylor and D. Where you going?
Yeah, I agree with Nikki. I think Jonathan Taylor will be the top fantasy running back this year.
It's hard to do it back to back, though. I don't know. For some reason, I think that, I mentioned Minnesota. They were my number 4. I think Dalvin Cook is going to have a really big year this year. I think he's got to stay healthy, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
That's going to be my thing. I love Dalvin Cook, but he's good for missing 3 or 4 games every year.
Yeah, he kind of is. You're right. Derrick Henry now missed some last year. Jonathan Taylor's into his 3rd season. So, all right, we'll see. Okay. How about wide receiver? I guess I'll go first this time. That connection that they keep talking about, they have, and he's going to be looking for him. He's going to catch probably 140 passes this year, even though he'll be double covered on certain times. But he's got Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow to take it away from him. I got Devontae Adams, D. It's my wide receiver.
I have no reason to disagree. I'm just going to throw a different name out there. I can see Jamar Chase having a crazy big year this year. So just to throw that another one there, but I do agree on Adams. All
right, cool. But I think before we get to your answer, which you smiled when you said Jamar Chase, it might be that. Nene does like Mixon to have a big year, and she's saying Nathan is saying CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver. He could have a huge year with Amari Cooper not there.
Cowboys fans, you guys want to come at me for not being objective?
That's true. Here's a Cowboys fan.
You guys come at me for being a homer. The biggest homer of all time.
Good point. You need more raw material, man. So where are we at? Where are we at with the wide receiver?
I agree. Nikki. I had Jamar Chase as well.
You do. All right. So you both got Chase. I got Devontae Adams, even though D said he's got no problem with Adams either. Tight end, I think we're all going to agree. If you took Travis Kelce, say aye. Aye.
Oh,
Nikki is not eyeing. She's Ewing. What are you saying?
I am Mark Andrews-ing.
Nice. Well done. Good job.
I like Mark Andrews a lot, though, so I'm not mad at that pick at all.
No, I'm not pissed at it either. I'm not mad. Kyle Pitts.
I think step back. So we got to come up with a name for like a baby step back, whatever that is, like a two step back.
Quantum fall? Quantum
well, quantum fall would be like the 49ers like coming in dead last. So
that would be awful for my heart and my pneumonia. I can't have that. Yeah. Please. All right, so we're all tight end. You went with Andrews, and me and D said Kelce, but pretty much all agree over there. No problem with that. How about defense? That's a tough one. I mean, because again, it's so hard to predict turnovers and everything. So maybe this is more of like who you like most at defense, Nikki. I don't know. How'd you interpret this, and what'd you take?
I actually went with your Niners for this one.
Really? Oh, I like that. All right. Yeah, we do. Hey, look. They're going to try us in the secondary, so we're going to have some interception attempts, and we know we can get to the quarterback and cause fumbles. So I think it's a wonderful pick right there. D, what do you got for your defense?
I'm going to go Buffalo. I mentioned it earlier. That defense is stacked, and last year it was crazy. I knew they were good, but when I was looking up all that stuff for the Saints, and I kept seeing the Bills, every single time, it's like, oh, man, this defense was nuts last year, man. So I think they're going to be even better this year.
Yeah, they added on Von Miller. I mean, shoot, they probably should be. Yeah. I went a little bit of a different way, and they added 2 huge pieces on the defensive line, so that could be more sacks and fumbles. That's the Denver Broncos with Randy Gregory and DJ Jones being added to that line. That defense has been awesome with Bradley Chubb and Patrick Surtain in the secondary. So I expect a pretty damn good year from Denver. They may be one of the teams that instead of the second to last round, maybe the third to last round, I would go ahead and take. Just maybe. Just maybe. Do we want to throw like some flex guy in there? Like, I think maybe the ultimate flex guy, if you want to call it, like somebody that I would really want to have. And I don't care if I'm giving anything away. It makes no difference to me. Austin Eckler could be that guy this year who could be like the 1,000 yard club, the 1,000 guy, from receiving and rushing. Plus that offense, it's going to be open up for him. He could be one of them really special running backs if he can stay healthy, D.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if he'll be available for you to pick as a flex guy. I think he'll get picked up pretty early.
Right. I'm using the terminology really. He's a starter. Don't get me wrong. He's a starter. He's a first, second rounder at worst. Worst.
For sure. And like, so when I'm thinking about flex, I'm thinking about like somebody that will be available a little later on that you can probably snap because people are kind of sleeping on them. I'm looking at like a J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody who you can got to pick up a little later as a flex guy, or a David Montgomery. Somebody you can pick up as a flex guy. I like having running backs in the flex because I like having a 3 running back system.
Me too. Me too.
So, a running back that is a carry low guy.
What about, would you put Josh Jacobs in that category, or is he a starting running back to you?
He could be a flex guy for sure.
Okay.
I think so.
So you don't think he's a Nikki? What about you? Do you think Jacobs is a RB1, RB2, or a flex guy?
I think you could flex him in, yeah.
So not RB1, RB2. I don't know. I wouldn't be upset if he was my RB2, to be honest.
Yeah, RB2, you're not upset, but if he's your RB1, you're a little worried.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah. I would, let me see. I think I had a couple of the rankings up as far as the running backs go as well. So you guys said Jonathan Taylor. Nick Chubb we didn't mention. He should be up there. I don't know if he's 2, 3, 4, whatever, but Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey, if he's healthy, J.K. Dobbins, Joe Mixon. Najee Harris is a guy we didn't mention who he ran like nuts last year with a bad passing game and a bad offensive line, Nikki. So
he was my one good player last year.
there you go. Nini thinks Jacobs is a flex, actually. What do you think about Nikki? I'm talking about Najee Harris this year. You think he's an RB1?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, he did it with a real shitty O-line. So
right?
I think this year, yeah, for sure.
Alvin Kamara is definitely somewhere in there. What about for Denver? If Melvin Gordon doesn't come back, did he sign there or not? Maybe he did sign back with Denver. I got to check that. But they're all about Javonte Williams right now. Young kid, year.
And I think with Russell Wilson as a quarterback, teams tend to come back to run the ball a lot because I think Russell Wilson thrives off of play action, being able to get the ball downfield. So Denver's running back could be somebody who could be a sneaky choice there as far as like a flex guy. I like that.
There are more running backs than we think, guys, because I got more on the list over here who can be, whether you want to consider them RB1 or RB2 or somewhere starting in your lineup, like Cam Akers, who we mentioned before. Again, we're not going to say stay healthy for every guy, okay? We could do that for every person, but Cam Akers, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Elijah Mitchell, David Montgomery we mentioned, James Conner. Let me look at my list over here. Also, I have Leonard.
Who could be a deep sleeper, Jay?
Who's that?
D'Ernest Johnson with the whole Kareem Hunt situation going on.
Interesting. Maybe so. Why, do you think they'll trade him? You think they're going to trade Kareem Hunt?
I don't think they're going to trade him, but I can see him getting
him though. All right. Okay.
Yeah, and I see D'Ernest Johnson maybe getting that spot because D'Ernest Johnson we saw last year when those 2 guys got hurt is capable of carrying the offense and being a workload back. So I can see him getting more carries for sure.
No doubt. Nini, you're right. Gordon is not the same. That's why they're definitely giving it to Williams. There's no doubt. That's an interesting dynamic over there. That really is. I like that. A couple more running backs to look at. Antonio Gibson, Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift, Zeke, Pollard, Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, Devin Singletary, Breece Hall, Chase Edmonds, Rashard Penny. It's a lot.
You have no excuse not to have running backs.
No, there's a lot more this year. Really? Think about that list right there. I mean, almost every team has got a running back, and some teams got 2. Okay. Yeah. That's really
interesting. So with like a Cowboy situation, do you want to take a Zeke when you know that Pollard is getting better and better and getting more and more opportunities?
Or do you want them both?
That's true. You could try to get them both, but when you have the guys who are truly splitting carries, that's the ones I try to avoid.
No doubt. Yeah, that's another good. That could be rule 8. Yeah, carries, avoid them. No doubt. No doubt. All right, loving it. Excellent stuff. Okay, fantasyfreakincity.com, USA, all the way today. All right, so we are almost an hour and a half into the show, and we're going to end it with the last division until we make our final predictions, which aren't going to come for a couple of weeks because we got to see the preseason. We got to make sure that this one and that one is healthy, is going to come out, and they're all going to be starting week 1. We don't know what's going to happen with certain players, so we have to wait on final predictions. But the AFC South breakdown right now, which is probably the least interesting division, that's why we saved it for last. So, number 4, who will be at the bottom of this division this year? Nikki, Nikki, would you like to go first?
No, D can go first.
Okay, D, you take it away. Who's going to finish at the basement of the AFC South?
I think we're all going to agree on Houston. Yeah. They're really bad. They don't have talent there. Like you mentioned, you could get some fancy sleepers there because they're going to be coming from behind. Maybe a Davis Mills will throw for 300 yards because they're coming from behind, stuff like that. And Brandon Cooks will be, the guy receiving a lot of those catches. But outside of that, I see no reason to watch Houston. If you
don't even watch them.
Yeah, there's no need to watch that team. They're going to be really bad this year.
I'm rooting for Lovie Smith. I hope they do well. I really do.
I'm just rooting that he gets a real chance. Like he gets a chance to really build.
Yeah, right. Like if they fire him after this year, I don't care if they go 0-17. I will flip out because they are handing him nothing for the most part, other than potential in a quarterback with Davis Mills. Potential, because we don't know yet. We'll see. So, Nikki, you would agree they would finish last?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I don't even know. Like, can you pick 5 wins? I mean, just to pick 4 wins is a struggle. It just sucks because I think we're all Lovie Smith fans, and it's like I wish he was in a better situation. And I would hate to see him get fired after 1 year because this team needs a lot of help. This is not a 1-year fix. You know what I'm saying?
You want to know how great of a coach Lovie Smith is? He took Rex Grossman and the Chicago Bears to the freaking Super Bowl, okay? Which, by the way, was historic because it was him and Tony Dungy as the first 2 black head coaches that ever in Super Bowl. And Tony Dungy came out on top. But Lovie Smith is a great head coach. And, I hope they give him time over there. And maybe Davis – look, if they have Davis Mills and he's a real quarterback and he's going to be a real starting quarterback, that's a good start, Then you can just branch out from there, and they're not going to have to pay him anything for a while. So – I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but we'll see. Okay, 3. I don't know if we're all going to agree at 3, but I'll say that the Jaguars are going to finish 3rd, but it doesn't mean I don't think they're vastly improved. I think they win 8 games this year. 8. Yeah, not 6 or 7. I think they go 8 and 9. And I think we're going to start to see why Trevor Lawrence is that guy who's the number 1 overall pick. What do you think about that, Nick?
I have them 3rd. I think they are definitely improving. We can all agree there. I like Doug Peterson there. I think he's going to be a good fit. They're like an emerging team. I'm going to probably hover around 6 wins for them, 6 or 7.
Which is definitely a step forward. There's no doubt there. Just to hit on that last point with the Texans. Yeah, Brian, that they ain't going to fire him. Pretty much no matter what happens, and they better not. We all love Lovie. D, are you going with the Jaguars in 3rd, or you got somebody else in mind?
No, I'm going to Jaguars as well. Okay. I can see them going 7-10, maybe 8 and 9 if things go the right way. So I think as a team, they're going to take leaps and bounds. Yes. But I do have Trevor Lawrence as my quantum leap. So yes, Trevor Lawrence is my quantum leap player this year. I think he takes a huge leap from what we saw last year with him.
I love it. This year, yes, that was official. That was completely official. He went deep in the voice, everything. Okay. That was beautiful. All right, it's marked.
The prediction is in. It is locked in. Is August 10th.
Locked in. I gave it a little bit. I'm like, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to show us, and this guy's like, no, you could. I'll show you. All right, quantum leap. That's what I'm saying. I'll show you. Yeah, Brian, we all think they're going to be better, man. All right, so that means at number 2, I think we all have the Titans because, Nikki, I am definitely going with the Colts at number 1. I'm trying to tell you, I'm a Colts fan, and I believe in the team. Fantasy is something different, but sticking at number 2, I got the Titans, Nikki, and it's because I think they're going to take a little bit of a step back. There's no more A.J. Brown there to bail Ryan Tannehill out of situations. And Derrick Henry, again, I don't know, again. So that's why I got Tennessee there, Nick.
I got Tennessee second as well. Listen, I'm not going to rant about Tannehill. You guys have all heard it before. Again, I just feel like he's going to hold that, offense back. I don't know. Derrick Henry, like, how much are they going to run this guy into the ground? Like, what else you got going for you, right? He's coming off that ankle injury. I don't really know if I trust it. They are coming off a 12-win season, so I'm going to say about 10. 10 wins.
Okay, I gave him 10 wins also. I'm the same. I gave him 10. Looks like Brian's given 9 wins. What do you say, Ding?
I agree with Brian. I think they go 9-8 this year. I don't see them making the playoffs because the AFC is so stacked. Like we was talking last week about the AFC East. I only see one team out the AFC East. I only see one team out the AFC South making the playoffs.
I pretty much agree with you there. I think that it would be amazing if 2 teams came out of the AFC South this year. And if another one did, I think the Jaguars would be that sneaky. I just can't see the Titans doing it this year. We all agree that the Colts are going to win the division. Brian agrees with us as well. He's got them at 11-6. I got them at 11-6. They could do even better than that. That's if, again, this is not a shot, Nikki. I'm speaking just real. If Stafford, if Matt Ryan, if Ryan can do better than what I think he can do, or what we think that he can get out of Michael Pittman and what's this kid named Pierce? He doesn't have a lot of weapons. That's what I'm worried about. So if they can do more than just Jonathan Taylor and win games 31-17 as opposed to 20-17 all the time, I'd feel more comfortable. But I do like the Colts to win the division.
Yeah, I do too. I also have them 11-6.
All right, so all 3 of us have 11-6. That's not including D. Is that 4 of us?
Yeah, our trifecta or quadruple, however you would say it.
Quadrilateral.
Yeah. So I definitely agree. I got the Colts going 11-6. It's weird because they have, like you said, those holes as far as outside weapons, but they do have a good defense. The defense should be better. You think about adding Stephon Gilmore. You're like, okay, this defense in the secondary could be, even better than they were last year. But Stephon Gilmore's a little older. So do you get the best version of Gilmore, or do you get this washed up version that you're not ready for? So they're a playoff team, but I don't know if they're a championship contender.
I would agree there. I don't think we're all going championship contender necessarily, because you look at the other teams; they're just better. And Nini is, big on Ryan as well. It looks like over here, we're all Matt Ryan fans. There's no doubt, and he should.
So don't pretend you are.
Oh my gosh, fantasy is something different. Trying.
Who knew? Like, who had that on their bingo board that it would be a Matt Ryan argument show?
No way.
You never know what's coming on this show.
And only on this show. You got that exactly. But if we're all going to agree on anything, we all did agree on this, and that is every single team in the division, including the Jaguars, getting better, even though they will finish with the 3rd best record. And the Colts at 11-6, so they're going to the playoffs. And that defense again is going to be a big reason why. But Darius Leonard is just a name that is not spoken enough around the NFL on shows. He is one of the best defensive players in the league. He can he forces fumbles, he gets fumbles, interceptions, sacks, tackles, 140 plus a year. The guy does everything. And now you got Rock Ya-Sin in front of him. Dude, come on. They added more players. I think that the Colts are going to be tough. But I'm with you. They're not going to be able to beat, I don't think, the Chargers or maybe even the Chiefs or some of those other tough teams, maybe even the Ravens. I don't know if they're good enough to beat those teams.
Yeah. Bengals, I would throw
Bengals, sure, yeah. But I can't wait to hear what our AFC teams are that are going to come out of the playoffs. We're going to start doing that, I guess, in a couple of weeks, guys, because we got to make our predictions, but we want to make sure that these teams have played a few games and we know who's hurt and who's not. That goes a long way, especially with the quarterback position.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the official prediction time.
Yeah. Today's the August 12th, right?
Yeah, we know we got the official Quantum Leap prediction, so we're getting close. We're getting close.
Yes, that's right. We did. Wow. I'm so glad that he please stay healthy, because I'm rooting for that one also. I think he could. All right, man, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me forget about my pneumonia for an hour and a half. It's beautiful. I appreciate it. I love you guys, my brother and sister. Nikki, your schedule is packed the hell up, girl. So what is going on?
Yeah, so tomorrow I will be on the JC Sports Talk podcast from 6 to 6:30. talking some Giants and some NFC East. So you can catch me there. Monday, I am guest hosting. I forget the show. I am so sorry.
Way to go.
Tuesday, I'm back at training camp, so look out for all my content. Follow me live on Twitter. I know some of you out there are living and dying by Daniel Jones's every play in training camp, which is just so ridiculous to me. But other than that, and of course, Wednesdays, I am here at my home base, my love for you guys. So find me on all social media platforms at NikkiNick9384. And hey, listen, I love chatting and interacting with everybody. I usually answer my DMs, but some of you are getting a little crazy. So let's make sure we are respectful. Thank you.
Listen, she shares with her brothers, okay? We know. Don't get us angry. Leave it at that. Leave it at that. If she's the busiest woman, then you're the busiest man, D. I don't know where you are, where you're going, but your head's all over the place.
Oh, man. Yeah, so for me, I was a guest on the Straight Facts podcast we recorded yesterday. It'll be premiering tomorrow. So if you look for it on YouTube or any other podcast platform, I had a really good time on there. It was really funny because the host of is a Buccaneers fan. So he definitely was coming at me about being a Saints fan.
Oh.
We had a lot. We had a lot of fun with that, but it was a really good podcast. So go check that one out. Follow me on all social media platforms at The Real Deal WDA. That's where you'll get all the content. You'll get boxing stuff. You'll get NFL stuff. I even had a tennis hot take today. So so if you follow me, you'll definitely get content there. I'm going to be writing articles for 3and3podcast.com coming up soon. Boxing, basketball articles. Football articles will be on gridironheroics.com. I just wrote one for another one about the Saints defense, how good they can be this year. Doing the research for that. I'm a nerd when it comes to that stuff. So being able to look deep into it and see exactly why the Saints defense was good last year. And that's why I mentioned the Buffalo Bills. Because every time I would look at advanced stat on the Saints, there's the Bills right there just poking out at you. So I think that people will enjoy the article about how good the Saints defense has the possibility of being. So you can go ahead and check that out. But again, all my stuff is at The Real Deal WDA. My podcast will be back next week, The Real Deal with Damian Adams. So again, man, thank you guys for supporting. Keep that good content in your life. So go ahead, subscribe to this show, and then subscribe to mine. Read our articles at 3and3podcast.com. All that good content keeps your cholesterol down. It makes sure that you're not angry, right? See, Nikki hasn't had a chance to take in the content because she's been so busy. That's why she's so angry. So you have to. So when you're taking the good content, it keeps your cholesterol down. It keeps you calm and steady. So keep that good content in your life. All right.
No doubt. Oh, that was so well done, bro.
It's that Real Deal bets that calm me down. I get a little break during the day. I'm like, Instagram. All right, got a Real Deal bet. Yep.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, the Real Deal bets I do as well. Yes, thank you.
You got too much going on. You can't even keep up with yourself, man. You got way too much.
You need a schedule. See, you're gonna do it. You're gonna be like, good.
I'm probably gonna have you help me do one for sure.
Yeah,
I will absolutely help you do one.
Very nice. Yeah, you guys need one of them big desk calendars. You get to carry it all over with you. Who
uses a manual calendar anymore? It's a calendar.
He has a calendar right next to his house phone. In the house right now.
You gotta bang it on the fridge, right?
What year do you live in over there in Fort Lauderdale?
Hey, it's always the 80s around me. I'm 80s style, baby. That's the way it is. It's always 80s. Keep it real. Different strokes. Let's go. Oh, man. You can catch my ugly 80s ass, all right, on this show. All right, 3rd and 3 podcast. This is my home. This is where it's grown. This is my family right here every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. And LA and Mike are going to be doing some writing for us also. I'm going to be doing some more writing on 3rd and 3. It's been a hot minute. I got to get back on that stuff and do my thing, getting over this pneumonia crap. I had Russell Baxter on Monday. We did every single team. We did like the number one question for each team, all 32 of them. That's on YouTube now and Apple and Spotify and all that stuff. So Power 32 Podcast is going to be very, very prevalent this year, whether it's fantasy or NFL, or I'm going to be talking about 49ers a lot. And I will be having on guests throughout the season, and that will include you two, all right? When I don't want to feel like talking as much and I need somebody else to host my show, and I will come to you and you guys help me out with that. But, yeah, 3rd and 3 Podcast, baby. That's where it's at. And this is the squad. Love it. I love it. This is my therapy. I needed it. And every Wednesday night you can count on it. Thank you guys for holding it down last week. I missed the hell out of it, but I'm glad to be back, and we will be back same time, same station next week, guys. We're out of here. Give them the wave, Nick.
Bye.
Peace.